Hello, everyone. This is a non-ABL centric pod. I just wanted to do a breakdown of all the leagues that I'm in, just for myself and anybody that feels like watching. I just wanted to get some stuff up on the channel this week while there's not a ton of actual baseball, not having to do lineups and stuff every day. So, kind of get some stuff going on the channel, get some non-week breakdown stuff. I have kind of a chunk of time today I didn't expect. One of the clients has a dentist appointment that he dropped on us early this morning. Um, I had not done the notes for week 14 yet, so I can't crank out the week 14 just yet. But I figure, you know what, not a whole lot goes into doing this, so let's go ahead and do this. So I'm going to break down. I'll go through my managed leagues, and then I'll check out my best ball, because a lot of my best ball I have not looked at in a long time. So that'll be pretty much all new to me. I know I did one very early in the year with Duke for the SP Streamer on Tracks, and I think he said we're still winning that one. So that if we are winning that one still, that won't be a genuine surprise to me. But the rest of them, I haven't checked in a long time. I typically check them about this point in a normal season, and then check it out again as the year starts winding down. If you're in last place right now in a best ball, you pretty much don't need to check that one the rest of the year. So I'll have an idea now if I'm in position to win any of them, or if it's going to be a pretty dry season. It's been not a great season for me personally thus far. I had a ton of Luis Castillo. I had a ton of the Mets, the Jeff McNeil, Michael Conforto. I've had a lot of Mondesi in Roto leagues. Bellinger, I got a lot of Bellinger. Just hasn't been, and it's not all injuries though. It's not. That's not to say if Conforto and McNeil were good, I'd be winning all my leagues. It's just hasn't been a great year so far. It feels like it's been a grind. It's only halfway done, but this is the kind of grind I missed. 2020, I wasn't sure if I was going to come full swing back to baseball. I almost kind of enjoyed not having a ton of leagues in 2020, but I did miss the baseball grind of it. I hate to say it, but I almost enjoy fantasy football more. I'm way more of a baseball fan. Baseball is a better sport. I love baseball more, but fantasy football is just easier to me. The competition seems easier. The leagues, it's easier. There's one waiver a week. Some in your weekly leagues in baseball, there's one a week, but in your dailies and stuff, you got leagues with two a week. You got daily waivers. And when you play in all of those, you have to keep track of all those. Which ones are my daily waivers? Which ones are my weekly? Which ones are this? With football, you spend, Tuesday night, you spend a couple hours on your waivers, bingo bango, and you don't fuck with it the rest of the week. It's free agency the rest of the week, unless it's in a weird league. But I don't know. I did miss the baseball grind, but I don't know. I hate to say that I almost find myself preferring football just through the ease. When you play so many leagues, that's streamlining. I don't know. I was just talking with some of the guys on Discord about scaling back. Now that I'm in these more involved baseball leagues that I've gotten into this year, mostly the Duke leagues, I want to scale back on my managed leagues, just the random managed leagues, the random Yahoo leagues and such. I don't find myself putting as much time into those to be as competitive as I want to be, and we'll see that here shortly. Going to do the Yahoo first. I still like Yahoo, but I mostly play there because they offer the paid leagues and they take care of the money without a fee. There's, League Safe charges a fee, Trax charges a rake, RT Sports rakes. I think the CBS, I've never used it, but I think the CBS Commissioner product is not free. But Yahoo does it for free, and you can set the league up however you want. And so, despite the fact that they're not the best platform, I do continue to play there. Let's bring up some share screen action. How about Yahoo? Bam. All right, so this league here, League of Leagues, is my home league, that league that really started in the mid 90s in my parents' house as a very young kid, really a preteen, probably like 12 years old, maybe 13. And then continued on really until now. This is the base of that league has dissolved. A lot of the guys that were in it throughout all of the 90s and most of the 2000s up to the 2010s, really until I moved to Colorado. Many of those guys are no longer in it, but the same core guys, the same handful of guys that have been in this league for over 20 years. Tony is now in this league. We wanted to add another guy this year. We lost one, and it's head-to-head now. It used to be basically best ball. We didn't call it that, but it was cumulative points, 25-man roster. You got your best first baseman. You could draft 3 first basemen. You could draft 4. But you 1 first baseman, 1 second, 1 third, 1 short, 3 outfielders, 5 pitchers, and for a while 1 and then 2 relievers. And you could draft as many of those positions as you want, but you got the top X amount and very limited free agent pickups. What the early iterations of this league. Now I think we do 100. But as you can see in week 14, I just went 9-3, went from 7th to 3rd place. So I was kind of struggling in this league, in my own league. And I'm a multiple time champion of this league, but have not won it in a long time. My dad is a multiple time champion of this league, has not won it in a long time. Let's see. This guy here has won it multiple times. The Roid Ragers. Come Sail Away has won it multiple times. This is a guy that I've actually never met in person, but he's been in this league for a long time, and only ever talked to him during baseball season, but he's always there, and he's won the league multiple times, and he is in first place currently. Who else here? This guy here, the Let's Play 2, he's one of the original, call him the original 6 or whatever. This guy's been in a long time, not an original 6er, but been in it a long time. And one of these here is an original 6er and has won a couple times, but not for a long time. So I'm sitting in 3rd place. This is head-to-head categories, my most hated scoring system, but I am the commissioner of this league. I put scoring changes and rule changes and stuff to a majority vote, and the majority voted for head-to-head cats. So that's what we play. With this league has been a lot of different things. It's been head-to-head points. It's been head-to-head cats, 1 win, 1 loss still. So most categories just gets the win. It's been head-to-head cats, as you see here. Each category is a win and a loss. And it's been that best ball cumulative points. For the longest time, it was that. Until we moved the league online, which was really pretty recently. It has been that cumulative points kind of best ball format. So this is a league I would really love to get a win in. It's not a super high dollar league, but for personal reasons, of course, I would love to finally win this league again. And we had a traveling trophy for a long time. It still exists somewhere, but it does not travel to the champions since Yahoo or whatever does stuff. You can look at that. But we did run this league on ESPN for several years, and then ESPN redid their baseball and wiped everything, wiped all previous league histories, wiped it all out. And that pissed me off to no end. I will not play fantasy on ESPN anymore. Baseball, football, anything. I will not play on ESPN because I emailed them so much asking, you have got to have a backup of that database somewhere. You cannot just get rid of my league's history. It had been on there for years, and you just obliterated it. We had all of that. There's no way for us to back it up unless I just take screenshots and then save them to my computer. But why would I have thought that I had to do that? I hate ESPN to this day, the websites especially, because of that reason. That's why we moved to Yahoo, and it was mostly the ease of use that Yahoo allowed. And I still set up the league through LeagueSafe because that's the way the boys are used to it. I don't want to change things, too crazy, but Yahoo's just easy. You click and drag the guys to move them around. Not everybody in this league is super computer savvy. That goes other than just my father. So Yahoo is fairly easy to use still. So yeah, third place. Tony is time to go fishing, I believe. Fifth place currently. Really, really jumbled up at the top. Nobody's out of it yet. Pretty good league. Let's move on to this is Rocco Baldelli's, because I was accused on Twitter of being a Rocco Baldelli jock sniffer, which I guess I am. I said he probably would have been a Hall of Famer if it wasn't for his fucked up injury. And man, last week, I'm just checking this today. I went 9-0 last week to be in third place in this league as well. And this is a head-to-head, another head-to-head categories. Damn. Yeah, another head-to-head cats. So I play technically in three, the first half of DZFC and then these two. But did not do well in DZFC the first half. Third place in my own. I'm third place of this one. There's no divisions in this one, just one giant division and 6 playoff spots. But I don't really look at playoffs yet, just because there's so much left to be played. But damn, of course the guys ahead of me had good weeks too, but pretty good week. A lot of fab left. I've made 26 moves. I'm pretty low on the wire. A lot of teams, 3 teams still with $100 of fab left. This guy's in 5th place and hasn't spent a single fab dollar, but you can do $0 fab bids on Yahoo. I guess a guy could create his own league and not allow $0 bids, but this was a standard boilerplate Yahoo league, which does allow $0 bids. So these guys you can see that they've made moves. This guy's made 33 moves, but not spent a single fab buck. And I don't know what he's saving it for, but he needs it. The other 2 guys that have 100 fab bucks are this league, there is a lot of separation between the top and the bottom. And these guys are probably, this guy seems to have given up. These 3 guys, I don't want to say they've definitely given up, but they look like maybe they've given up, not making a lot of moves. 29 for this guy, but 11 for this guy. They got a lot of their fab left. But hey, that's fine for me. Give up if you want. I'm in third place. I'll be going to the playoffs in this league. Let's check this Roto League. This league, man, I was in first place for the longest time in this league. And I don't really know. I guess it's probably the Corey Seager injury really caught up to me in a couple leagues. I had him in DZFC. Well, here, we'll see where I have him, but I have him here. And had BGO go down for a long time, had the McNeil, had Benintendi down for a long time. This is just a team that the injuries hit at once, but I'm still very optimistic for the second half. Let's take a look at the standings. I don't think I'm terrible in RBI and saves, but the rest of the pitching is very good. The Ks are great. The ERA and WHIP are great. My batting average is great. The runs are okay, but homers and ribbies, I really need some help with. And, Corey Seager's probably not going to help me a ton with the home runs, but maybe I make some moves. Maybe I get Garrett Hampson out of there. I have him for steals. Duggar. Maybe I don't so much need the steals help with Laureano in there. And Kiner Falefa. I need pop. Maybe there's a deal out there to be made. I could trade. I could sell, I don't even really know who. Sell Pablo or Kikuchi or wait for Castillo to have one more really good start. Sell him for a bat somewhere, an outfield power bat. I don't know. There's a couple ways I could go here. I'm still not 7th place. I'm still not worried about this team because I'm right there. Really, I'm right there. I know I can be fine in this league. The Charity McFrankenden team. This is not a promising team. Let's just take a look first real quick. I'm in 10th place out of 12, tied for 10th. Dropped 3 points that last night of full ball. And I've got some ground to make up. And it's the hitting again. Pitching, good in the wins, good in the saves, good in the Ks, not great in ERA and whip. But then the hitting, 5.5, 2 in the ribbies, 1 in steals, a 4 in batting average. So I really have a need for steals. I just picked up Hampson. I need Laureano to get going. So this is another Corey Seager league. Getting Seager back is not going to help in steals. Getting Canna back is not going to help in steals. It will help in batting average. And then another full IL, Bieber, Savali. But the pitching's held up. I'm using guys like Daniel Bard for other saves, but I have Hader and Ed Diaz. But the pitching is not terribly strong. Mike Minor's not good. Pivetta has not been good. I need these guys back, especially Bieber and Savali. I really need them back. This is a team that I'm not done playing by any means, but 10th place halfway through the season, that's a big hill to climb. This is New York Giants. This is the old-timey New York Giants. This is ran by a guy in a couple of Dukes leagues. I think maybe he's in Flug and DZFC. I could be corrected on that, but that's where I met him. I'm in this league. My father's in this league. Who is this? Beggar's Tomb? Dave? Is this your league? Forgive me if I'm wrong. I could completely be butchering that, but I am in 2nd place in this league, and I do have a waiver in for Chad Green. Don't know if I'm gonna after that explosion. Don't know if I want to, but I have 69. Nice 69 points. This is a Trey Turner team, a Ryan McMahon team, a Conforto team, Joey Gallo. You see a lot of Joey Gallo on my teams. Kiner Falefa is my catcher, I think, in every Yahoo league. It's nice to plug him in there, and I've notched 15 steals from my catcher. Pretty love doing that in a Roto league. Very small benches on this. I only have Lords and then another Corey Seager IL. So we're up to 3 or 4 now, Corey Seager teams. And then the pitching hasn't seen a ton of injuries. McCullers was down for a while. Urquidy. I made a trade for Kenley Jansen. I traded Robbie Grossman and Jazz Chisholm for Kenley Jansen. I needed saves. And here's one that worked out. I picked up Heath Hembry just less than a week ago, and he's notched 3 saves in that time. Worked out fantastically. Robbie Ray's been great. Kind of a patchwork pitching, but it's working for now. My main issue, let's see where I think I have some points to gain too. I'm in second place, and I've got some points to gain. The ERA, I've got the whole second half to smooth out the ERA. I can gain in ribbies. I'm like right there in something. 47 saves. There's a guy with 49, and there's a guy with 52. So there's a couple points within reach there. And I think strikeouts, 958, and next closest is 1016. So so it's 78 steals, and then there's 2 guys with 80, and 1 guy with 79. So there's a few points to be gained for me in pretty easy categories. Even the homers, I got 179, and then there's a 186. But I need separation from the guys ahead of me on that. Not really super close in runs. 638. There's a 657. There's a 647. So there's some points to be gained. I can win this league. I need to. This is a league within winning distance here. My father is the Seattle Pilots, and he's got some great pitching going on, but very poor hitting. The homers, the ribbies, the steals, the average, all pretty bad. But he's the one I made that trade with. He got Jazz and Grossman. He's got a few steals out of Rex already. Still in first, or getting 1 point, I should say, for steals. But he's at 44. There's a guy at 45. There's a guy at 49. So there's some points to be gained there for him. I think that deal works out for both of us, honestly. I think that's a pretty good deal. So those are the Yahoo leagues. Third place in a couple, 7th in one that I feel really good about, 10th in another that I don't feel good about, and then second in this one. Not as bad as I kind of originally thought. Let's check out. Let's how do I get rid of this? All right. We're going to take a quick put on the thinking cap here for this next one, because I'm going to have some complaining to do. You're going to hear me bitch a little bit about my bad luck. Hear me bitch about my bad luck. Gonna pull some whining out of my ass. Full disclosure, I was gonna say pull a Mark. I was gonna say pull a Blue Jays Mark, but then I was like, I don't want him to be offended, but I think he knows I'm just fucking with him, and he probably won't watch this anyway. So let's go to RT Sports, and we are gonna take a look at the, you know what? Let's just start at the bottom. Let's start at the fucking Yahoo. Maybe has best balls, but I don't play them. Let's just start at the bottom. I'm gonna start at a best ball here. Same name I used for my DZSE team because I couldn't think of anything. The Vitamin Empire. I am in 4th place, and I got a good gap between me and 3rd. Got some injuries. Got Gallen. Got Sonny Gray. Had Scherzer. I like that pitching staff overall, though. If Sonny Gray could get his shit together and Gallen could stay on the field, pretty healthy offense, man. It's like surprisingly healthy offense. Some guys not doing what, Moncada not doing what I hoped he would do. Yelich obviously not doing what anybody hoped he would do, but this is a Tatis team. So that's, Jesus Christ, look at those numbers. You forget, I don't think I have him in any leagues I play out. You forget you drafted him in best ball. He's nice to have, even if he's just sitting there in a U spot. But let's see here. How bad is it for this team? 1 in wins. Man, 1 in wins and a 4 in Ks. So, yeah, if Gallen and Sonny Gray could come back and I could go on a second half run, there's a guy with 34 wins. There's a guy with 36. 42. I'm at 31. So, geez, I'm number 1 in saves. Look at that. Number 1 in saves. I'll be goddamned. I didn't think I went hard on saves. 3.11 ERA. What else am I terrible? Ks. So, yeah, losing those 2 starters for that long, Gallen and Gray, that hurts you in wins and Ks. That's how it's going to be. And ribeye steaks, I'm not great. 538. But there's a guy with 551, and both those guys are ahead of me. So if I could get those points, I'd also be taking points away from them. So that would be great. Yeah, I could cash. I don't think I'm gonna win this league unless I get some injury luck or something. I mean, injury luck to other teams. I've clearly already had some in avoiding them, but I could cash in this one. This is definitely a cashable. Joey Gallo coming on for me in a lot of leagues lately, I tell you what. So now hitting a $196. That hurts. If Jeff McNeil could have a great second half, I could easily cash this league. Let's check the next one up. Another best ball. This is in the best ball championship. I'm right in the middle. Right in the middle, a pretty good distance back from first place, a pretty good distance back from the guy ahead of me, honestly. So Correa, this was a Mondesi League, a Rendon League, Eliser, Michael Lorenzen, James Paxton, Puck, Louis Severino, and Spencer Turnbull, all out currently. Not bad luck anywhere else. Just not a. Clearly, this was a went for the bats early and waited on the pitching. This Boots, Mookie, Freeman, Gallo, Harper, Judge, Rendon, Stanton, Tucker. Those are some early round hitters. This was clearly a go for the hitting and hope I can find pitching, and some of those worked. Gossman worked. You can say Eflin worked. Sandy worked. Barrios doing okay. Robbie Ray doing great. If I had avoided injuries in this league, I'd be looking dynamite. That's unfortunate. Maybe these guys come back. I can go on a run for the second half. Maybe weasel my way into a cash spot, which I think is third in these things. Maybe it's even second. It's probably not going to happen. Probably not in this one. Go to BBC 2. Hey, I'm in second place in this one. All right. There's a good bit separating me from Wobacon 2.1, but I'm very happy to be in second place. Let's take a look at the team. Jesus. All right, well, this is a league where I just lost Acuna. And I just lost Darvish. Probably not going to remain in second place. This has largely been on the shoulders of Acuna, Jesse Winker, who I'm sure I got late, Carlos Santana having a great year for a points league, of course. And again, some late pitching, but paying off. Stroman, Yarbrough, Cooch. Boy, I expect myself to drop a bit in this league with losing my number one point getter in Acuna. That's gonna hurt. Not a whole lot in the way of outfield. It'll be on the shoulders of Brandon Nimmo, George Springer. Man, that sucks. So second place in this one. Not gonna stay that way. Let's check 3 now. Hey, I'm winning this one. Man, I'm winning this one with a sizable lead. I've got Canna down, I've got Correa down, I've got Rendon, and then Bummy and Cooch. But another Sandy team, another Barrios team, another Cooch team, Stroman, Woody, Rich Hill paying dividends, Zach Eflin, Pablo. A lot of the same names. There's McNeil. Hey, another Tatis. Hey, fucking okay, man. All right, first place in one of these things. I said I was going to come on here and bitch about. I still am, but I'm in second in one. I'm in first in another. I'm very happy to. Ooh, see, losing Correa doesn't hurt because Tatis is my shortstop, so that pays off. I grabbed Correa late. I remember that was like 11th or 12th round. Mitch Haniger late, paying off. Ian Happ sucking ass. Scopey paying off. Yeah. All right. Decent team. Let's move to the played out leagues. And this is where I'm going to do some bitching because, man, I tell you what, my head-to-head scheduling in these 3 leagues here have been brutal. I just lost. So this team, round teen, it's a Seinfeld. I'm 5-9, but check it out. 3,850 points. I have more points than every team ahead of me in this division, except for the team in first. I have more points than 3 of the 5 teams in this division. I seem to be matched up against one of the highest scoring teams every single damn week. I should be sitting in second place, at least tied for second place. Instead, I'm one of the worst teams in the league at 5-9. And then same for this guy. Look at this guy, 3,930 points. He's got more points than I do, and he's 5-9. Head-to-head scheduling is a killer. He's got 3,900 points. This guy's got 36. In the dirt, that's actually my dad. Full disclosure again, that's my fucking dad. Again, the damn ABL Padres, who are a good team, but the in the dirt team, these guys are living on good scheduling, man. Some guys get it, the other guys get the shaft. In this league, I'm one of the guys that got the shaft, and you're going to see it in another couple leagues too. But man, this shit pisses me off. I mean, you know, it's fantasy baseball. It pisses me off in as much as I can get pissed about something like this. But it's very annoying to every week I get on here. And look, I'm playing the tool guy. I'm playing another high-scoring team this week. Every time I get on here, I'll have a bunch of fucking points, and I'll be playing one of the 2 or 3 guys that has more points than me. It's incredibly frustrating. And here's the team. And, you know, another Kiner Falefa, Santana. You're going to see a lot of the same guys on my teams. You know, it's me drafting them. Juan Soto. This is a Juan Soto team. Tony Disco paying off in this one. Late round pitching. Lance Lynn. Another Pablo team. Another Scherzer team. Another Mark Canha team. Who was performing great. Yeah, I'll snack her in a minute. Let's move to the next one real quick. I have to hop up. No, you know what? Let's go back and look at that while I get up. I'll be right back. Thanks for hanging in there. And we're back. All right, yeah. Thank you for still watching. All right, let's look at the next one here. This is a Pinot Biggio. And you know, I'm not going to do a ton of bitching about this one, except that there's another league where I'm 5 of 9. I have more points than the guy ahead of me. I have nearly as many points as the 10-4 guy in the other division. I have way more points than my father, who is rhubarb. I have way more points than him, and he is 7-7. So again, just kind of crappy scheduling. I guess. I mean, I don't know. Maybe my record's middle of the pack, and my points look like they're roughly middle of the pack. Maybe I shouldn't be bitching too much. It just feels like every damn week I happen to be playing the 1 or 2 teams that have more points than I do. So here's this team. Cedric Mullins was a wire pickup, 296 points, fucking fantastic. Just lost Correa, but I do have Javi Baez, who probably is the best thing I could plug in there right now. I made a boner last week. I picked up Kim for a 2-star week, and I didn't get him in the lineup in time and had to stick with Skubal. So that hurt. I don't think it cost me a matchup, but it cost me some overall points for sure. Another Barrios team, another Castillo team, another Aaron Nola team, another Robbie Ray team. A lot of the same pitchers on my teams. This is an Ohtani team. You can play him as a hitter or a pitcher. You cannot play him as both in this league like I think you can in Yahoo. I think that's the only place that still lets you do that. Still can make in these 5 and 9 teams with good second halves. I can make the playoffs. It's not as bad as it could be, but it's still very frustrating when I feel like I've been having a good year, and then I look at my record, and it's not a good year. This team is Captain N, the Game Master. If you watch that Nintendo cartoon as a kid, another instance here where I am 7-7. I have more points than every team in this division except this guy. I have more points than the team that's 10-4 in this division. My father's not in this league with me, but this is another extremely frustrating. I look to be about fourth in points, but I am still 7-7, whereas the guy 150 points below me is 10-4. Terribly frustrating, but another league where the playoffs are well within grasp with a good second half. The team for this one, a lot of the same guys: Barrios, Pablo, Nola, Shohei, Robbie Ray, again, Mark Canha, again, another Stroman team, another Joey Gallo team. I've got a lot of the same guys all over the place. This is a Vlad team, one of the few, I think the first Vlad team I've ran into yet. Another Ozzy team. Bellinger, if he could pick it up, that would be really nice. Jordan, don't have a lot of Dylan Cease, but yeah, a lot of Nola, a lot of the same pitchers. You can kind of see the strategy I went with in the leagues where I think I was probably picking towards the end, ended up going, bat, and then probably bat again. And then I was getting Barrios in the fourth. And maybe I went, well, I have Nola. Yeah, I don't know where I got these bats. I don't remember how these drafts played out because I know I had to go Soto in the first. Did I go Nola in the second? Vlad? I mean, Vlad was going pretty late, but when do you go Bellinger? I mean, Bellinger was a first-round pick in a lot of leagues that drafted early, especially. Man, I don't know how this draft went. I might want to go back and look at this one. But playoffs well within reach, 7-7, but 3,900 points. Let's check some Roto here. The Worm Burners is a team I run with my father. We are in third place. We have bounced all over the place. We've been down at ninth. We've been up in second. And we jumped up a bit right before the break. We are nestled into the cash spot right now. We were just successful in picking up Heath Embry. Man, somebody in this league had dropped Yordan Alvarez, and we didn't get him. But we did get Embry. This is a team ready to go on a nice second half run with a healthy Gonsolin pitching well, Luis Castillo pitching like he should. Still got Scherzer, still got Robbie Ray, Pablo, Eflin, a lot of the same guys that you see on a lot of my teams. Joey Gallo, Moncada, Jeff McNeil, if he could have a good second half. If Jazz can pick it back up, he hasn't been running much lately. Reese Hoskins, the summer weather. This is a two-catcher league. We got two pretty good catchers combined for 14 homers, 9 steals, 66 RBI, and not a kill you average in Will Smith and Christian Vasquez. So that was the two catcher going two decent catchers, man, that can work out for you if the rest of the things break your way. Even with guys like Lords and guys like Moncada not having the best years. Brian Reynolds was a waiver pickup, has been fantastic. Freddie Peralta was a waiver pickup, has been fantastic. If this team can stay healthy, I like our chances to stay in a cash spot, and we're not that far out of first place realistically. This is shaping out to be a pretty decent league. The witty team name here, could not think of a team name. Not doing well, this team, way down here at 50 points, 27.5 behind the leader. And another Aaron Nola team. I don't hate this team. The catching is not good with the 198 hitting Zunino, but the pop is there. And I honestly, I don't hate this team, but it's clearly it's not performing well. Probably the ERA and WHIP. Chapman getting exploded recently knocked me down, I think, a couple spots. I was like sitting in fifth, if I recall correctly. Yeah, it took some ERA and WHIP shots. I need to get some 2-start pitchers in there, jump up on the case. But steals are gettable. Homers are what they are, but I got a lot of room to jump. I'm not done with this team by any means, but it's not in a great spot right now. Pretty far down here, and a long way to climb as well. The North Dakota Drillers, this is the NL only team I run with Tony in the ABL. We had been in first most of the year. We lost Jack Flaherty, and now we just lost Ronald Acuna. So this is a team that was built to – I mean, this team was going to win this league. We were dominating this league before we lost Acuna for a short spell, but when we lost Captain Jack, that really, really hurt because in an NL only – it's hard to replace pitchers like that. You can see we were throwing Arrieta and we just lost him. So we're going to have to do some digging. You're not going to replace Acuna's production, but Jonathan Villar, who we were able to snag off wires, has 9 homers and 8 steals. It's not great production, but you know what? It's a hell of a lot better than most of the guys on the wire right now. Jesse Winker's been amazing for us. Raimel Tapia has been really good for us. 5 homers, 15 steals, and hit 280. Christian Walker, we picked him up off wires. He's been a bit of a bust. Dubon has not been great. The shortstop situation in this league, not great. I don't think that losing Acuna has to kill us, but it's really going to hurt, and we've already dropped down to third place from first in a pretty short amount of time. This team's in some trouble, but is still on good footing. Get Captain Jack back. If we don't even know when he's going to come back, but we picked up Embry in this league as well. Help with buoying us with saves because we really only have Melanson, and he's keeping us afloat in saves. But any team that loses Acuna, which we've seen now as a couple for me, these are going to hurt. Head-to-head, roto, it doesn't matter. It's going to hurt you. So team I run with Tony, doing well. We were doing great for most of the year, and then boom, that shit happens. Can of Crone, this is an AL only. I run with my father. We are bouncing all over the place. We are up in second one day. We are down in 6th or 7th the next. We are all over the place in this league. And once we get a couple guys back, we're going to look a lot better. This is a team that's been in second place in this league and has not had any Mondesi, one of the I think he was the 2nd round pick for us. In an AL only, wanted to dominate steals, grab Mondesi early, and we've gotten nothing out of him. We lost Canna. We've had Kepler down for it seems like a lot of the year, and then he's just kind of sucked the rest of it. And then a lot of similar names: Yarbrough, Robbie Ray, Barrios, Kyle Tucker, JD, Kiner Falefa. This is an Altuve league. Catcher's tough in an AL only. We've recycled catchers a few times. We went from Pedro Severino to who was that guy on the Rangers? Trevino. Now we're trying Torrens out. See what he brings to the table. I don't hate this team. I think once we get Canna and Mondesi back, assuming we get them back healthy, this team is going to compete. We're gonna launch up there in steals in the second half if Mondesi comes back healthy. And assuming Canna comes back, he was doing a little bit of both when he went down. He was scoring a ton of runs. And we've lost that production with putting Donaldson in the utility spot. So this is a team that I'm excited for. We're still fighting for a cash spot, if not a win. The guy on first looks really good, but I like our chances in this AL only. And then one more. Hey, I'm in first place by 6 points in this league. My last roto on this, I just lost Rendon, Nola. I've got a lot of other injuries: Sonny Gray, Bregman, Moose, Schwarb. Deep rosters in roto on RT, the 2 catcher leagues. So my catchers have been pretty much the entire season Narvaez and Barnhart, which not great for the ribbies, not great for the power, but keeps the average buoyed in a way that most 2 catcher batteries are not going to do. And I've been able to go after stuff elsewhere, with the Joey Gallo, Aaron Judge. I've got Marte and Laureano bringing me steals, and Falefa. I like this team. Kaprelian was a waiver wire pickup. Gossman had pretty late. And when these guys come back, when I get Bregman back, and I get to plug him in, and I can plug him in at corner infield, get Arias out of there, which is a really empty 296 average. You see 1 homer, 1 steal. He's just in there for batting average because batting average is hard to make up. I like to have batting average, especially when I'm drafting guys like Judge and Gallo. Judge is hitting 282, but I don't think anybody expected that. I like the Arias pick, the Raimel Tapia kind of guys, those high average, fairly empty, even though Tapia's had a lot of steals, but Arias was going to be a pretty empty average. Omar Narvaez is an empty average, not empty in the sense that it's a 300 average at catcher, but there's not a whole lot with it. But once I get Bregsy back in there, and I would look at widening my lead. I've had Iglesias, Ed Diaz, Taylor Rogers grabbing me some saves. So I'm feeling pretty good in saves. I could probably shore those up a little bit. Probably saves is I'm ninth in saves. It's wins. It's wins that I need. The most fickle of fantasy categories. I'm not doing great in steals either, but yeah, 6-point lead and then a big lead over the second place guy. So this team looking pretty decent. Let's move to tracks. This is becoming, 45 minutes. This is becoming long. Whoever sticks this out, you're a champion of the channel. We have not very many guys that stick these out, and I don't expect a lot of ABL guys to be sticking these out. I'm just doing this because I'm going to talk about my own teams instead of my own shitty ABL team that I talk about every week on this channel. The crappy Rockies who are always going 1-2 or 0-3. So you know how the Rockies are doing. The DZFC team did not do well. You know what? I can't even look at this. Can I? Can I look at my team? Yeah. So here was my DZFC team. It was Roto in the first half. A lot of injuries on this team. Had Conforto down for pretty much the entire first half. Lost Lubov. Lost Seager. So right there, that's an $18, a $25, and a $24 player gone for pretty much the entire first half. And then on the pitching side, I really only lost Klubs, and I had Sonny Gray down a lot of the first half. Missed some sure starts, and of course Castillo was Castillo. But yeah, if you throw Sonny Gray in there, that is 4 $18 or higher dollar players that missed significant chunks. And in a 15 or 16 team Roto, those guys are really difficult to replace. I tried to replace the Lubov steals, with Nick Gordon and Steven Duggar and guys like that. I had ended up trading for Laureano, so most of those steals I didn't get. Not a great finish overall. I was 12th with 75 points. So we're wrapping up that draft for the second half, which is head-to-head categories. I did keep Corey Seager, and I kept Lubov, and I kept Scherzer. So I'm hoping those guys can get healthy and anchor me on a big second half run, because that's a lot of money sunk into them still. Let's check out. This was a mock Blue Horseshoe, the Sandy Koufax Best Ball Auction, which I think was Joe's, Dodger Joe from the ABL. I think this is his best ball. And it looks like I'm in 7th. Maybe I'm within striking distance of 6. Not in a cash spot, I don't imagine. Who's winning this? I don't know who a lot of these guys are. I think this is Joe. I don't know who any of these teams are except for maybe Adams Phillies. That's pretty self-explanatory. The Marlins is probably Tony. I'm in 7th. Let's take a look at the team. We have lost Brandon Belt, who was probably, I was looking at as my primary first baseman, at 5.63 a game. Who are we using at second base? Second base was not good. I went Arias and Johan Camargo, so please don't get hurt, Arias. Third base, even worse. Matt Carpenter is my third baseman. Imagine what place I could be in if I drafted a fucking third baseman. What the hell was I thinking? I must not have been paying attention or something. I drafted one third baseman. The outfield, Joey Gallo, Mitch Haniger, then Kepler. Willie Calhoun was, and then another Conforto. Kyle Tucker, Yelich killing me in this one as well. And then another Barrios, Castillo, Gossman, Cooch. Got a lot of Cooch. Got a ton of Robbie Ray, Yarbrough. There's a Freddie Peralta. Hey. Yeah, not a great. Unless Matt Carpenter comes on and does something, I can probably kiss a cash goodbye in this league. This is Duke and I's SP Streamer best ball. I don't know if it's actually for. I think we've been saying this whole time that it's for a mug. It's for something, but we are winning. A slim lead over the second place team, but we are winning. So this is another best ball first place. Tucker Barnhart, the catcher. Crone, Hoskins, Sano. Ooh, Starlin was Brandon Lau. We were big on Brandon Lau. Low. Matt Chapman, JD Davis. Shortstop, another Corey Seager team for me. Casty, Gallo, Kutch, Will Myers, Puig. Hasn't played Jesse Winker. Very nice pick there. And another Barrios, a Matt Boyd team, Carrasco, Bummy. So I had some injuries on this team. Greinke, Cooch, Morihone, TJ Antone. So a team that's actually suffered, DeGrom team that suffered some injuries and still sitting in first place. So a Corey Seager injury team still in first place. They do exist. This is, I don't consider this a real best ball because Jeff and I did not get to draft this team from the beginning. Jeff and I took this team over and did not get to pick very many guys on it. We knew this was pretty much a dead team. Our goal was to just not finish last. And we are 14th out of 30. So, definitely not finishing last. Maybe it wasn't that bad. It's like all utility. Yeah, it's like all UT and P spots. And the team was pretty well full when I think our first pick might have been Alex Reyes, which turned out pretty good, 6.78 points a game from a reliever, and has stayed relatively healthy. So I don't really consider this a real team. Madrigal injured, Kluber injured. We didn't draft this from the ground up, Jeff and I. So, and the Merrifield Hotel is the United Best Ball League. I have not checked this one in some time. I don't feel like I'm doing great. I'm in 17th place. Oh, no, 7th, not 17th. Yeah, there's not even 17 teams. 7th place, still not great. But kind of right there on the heels of 6th and 5th. Could have maybe a good second half. Let's check the squad. Alfaro and James McCann at catcher, not a great battery. First base, Carlos Santana is working out. Evan White is not. Second, Scopey, DJ LeMahieu, Donaldson and Michael Franco at third. Xander, JP, and Wander Franco at short. My one Wander Franco league. Joe Adele, Charlie Blackman, Casty, Conforto, David Dahl, C. Dick, Hilliard, McCutcheon and Nimmo, and then Andrew Stevenson, Kyle Tucker. Bringing up the outfield, and then could get Bieber back. That would be nice. Elisier back would be nice. A healthy second half from Gonsolin. Flexen's been good. Sandy's been good. McKenzie, I'm high on in the second half. Minor, Nola, another Freddie Peralta team. Strass injured. Alex Wood's been okay. I don't know. I have some hope of climbing in the second half. I don't know if I have hope of cashing. And some other best balls. This is probably the earliest best ball I did on Tracks or anywhere. I think I started Tracks best balls before anything else. Ooh, not good. I'm in 11th. Not good. Jesus Christ, 11th. Catchers of Contreras and Maldonado, Aguiar, Miggy, Morin, Santana, Luke Voigt at first. Cano, Wilmer Flores, and Solano a second. There's a misstep. Third, Franco, Machado, Brad Miller, Rio Ruiz, Willie Adames, Nick Ahmed, Brandon Crawford, Dansby at short, Pat Valleca. Outfield, JBJ, Cole Calhoun, Will Myers, Trent Grisham, Duvall, Eddie Rosario, Mikey Yaz, and Josh Reddick. Pitching must be pretty bad. Bieber, Zach Davies, Waino, Taiwan Walker, Colome and Hand, Kenley. Yeah, I went heavy relievers. This is when I was experimenting. So even though best ball leagues on Tracks are points, I wanted to go with a heavy reliever strategy, and we can see here that did not pay off. I went with I stupidly went one really good starter, high-end starter, and then waited forever, clearly, I guess. Man, this is just not a good team. This is just a shitty team. It should be in 11th place. Another early best ball. See if this one's any better. I recall not liking my best ball teams on tracks. The first one shows why. Man, another one in 11th place. Holy shit. All right, so another 11th place. Alfaro and Danny Jansen. So I was big on Alfaro in these early. I was probably doing these December, January. Abreu and Evan White. McMahon at second base. Longo, Rendon, and Tommy Edman at third. Short, Trevor Story, Rosario, Freddie Galvis. The outfield, they still got Jay Bruce. See, some of this seems fucked up because it's got the stars next to guys I'm not using, like Chris Davis and Jay Bruce, instead of guys like Jesse Winker and Juan Soto. I don't always understand Trax's, like, what they're putting here. They're putting stars next to guys that I'm clearly not using. Alex Dickerson over Jesse Winker? Jesse Winker has no star next to his name. Why would I be using Jay Bruce or K-Ris Davis or Alex Dickerson over Jesse Winker? Of course I'm not. So why does it have me using that? Am I actually in 7th place? I mean, or 11th place? Fuck me. It's got me using Carrasco. Carrasco has a star next to his name. This can't possibly be right. But whatever. Carrasco, Gonsolin, again, Greinke, Happ, Keller, Bad Brad Keller, Sale, Paddock, Wheeler. I'm surprised they have me using Wheeler. He's got the star next to him. Yarbo doesn't have the star. Archie Bradley does. Has 39 total points. He has a star next to his name. Yarbo's got 170, no star next to his. Alex Reyes, 240, no star next to his. What the fuck, Fantrax? Why do you suck so bad? I don't even know if I want to fucking look at the other few of these because I don't know if I can trust them. I don't know that I trust that I'm actually in. That first team's probably in 11th place, but I feel like that team's not. I feel like that team's not an 11th place team. So what? Every one of my team, I'm in 11th place. Get the fuck out of here. So they've got this one in 11th as well. And will my fourth one be also in 11th place? No, 7th. So 7th, and I'm not even looking at these fucking rosters yet. So it's either 11th or 7th. And something doesn't feel right about this best ball scoring. It's got J.D. Davis. J.D. Davis is my... It's using Maikel Franco over Devers in this one. Franco's got the star. Fantasy points count towards standings. And, if you can't see that, let's make it huge. Let's make it as big as possible. The star means fantasy points count towards standings. It's got Maikel Franco, but not Rafael Devers. It's got the 177 of Franco or whatever, but not the 333 of Devers, apparently, counting. It's got David Dahl and K-Ris Davis counting, but not Ryan Mountcastle or Tyler O'Neill. What in the hell sense does that make? It's got Keuchel, but no Cooch. It's got Chris Sale. Chris Sale, fantasy points count towards standings. Chris Sale, 0 points, hasn't thrown an inning all year. Ozuna, Rosenthal. It's got 3 zeros. It says counting towards my standings. What the fuck? I mean, I can't imagine that that's actually what's going on, right? Like, I can't imagine. But whatever. So there's some full disclosure. I've got some teams in good spots. I've got some teams in shitty spots. I've got some teams where I don't know exactly where they are. Fucking Trax. I really don't like Trax. I play there. Their rake is lower than RT, and they do take care of the money and stuff. But, man, I really do not like the platform. It's not – I don't like playing football on it. I don't like playing baseball on it. But sometimes it's what you got to go with. It does work well for the huge team leagues and stuff. That does work well. So coming in an hour – thanks for watching or listening as much as you did. This was full disclosure of my teams across all platforms. That's how I'm doing halfway through the season. I think I'm still in a spot to potentially profit this year. It doesn't look hopeless or anything. I'm in a potential to still win, a potential spot to win multiple leagues across various platforms and formats, roto, head to head. I could also win no leagues. The second half is long, and that's when you really get into the grind. And those of us that stay on top of it generally do better than those of us that don't. I try not to flake out on any of my teams, even the ones that I know suck. I think if you're going to play in that league, especially a money league, and there's other guys in the league, you owe it to that league to play as well as you can, to set a proper lineup, to not be making stupid moves like the guy in the RT league that dropped Yordan Alvarez. Like, why would you? The guy's 99.9% owned, not hurt, and hitting the shit out of the ball. Why would you drop him? There has to be. My dad and I looked last night, and he had a roster crunch, but there's somebody on that roster that you can drop, even if because he's you only in. That's what it was. He's you only, and the guy also has Ohtani, who's also you only when you want to hit him. And, of course, he wants to hit him because it's Ohtani. So, but do you drop Yordan? He's in third place in this league. It's Roto. This guy's in third place. He dropped Yordan. You hang on to him just to not let anybody else have him. You don't make stupid moves like that. And this is a guy in third place. He's in third place in spite of himself. Like, despite himself, he's in third place. I don't think this is a guy that's going to stay in third place. He's been riding Ohtani, and Ohtani can't really continue hitting a home run every other at bat. So, but anyway, that's besides. So this guy's not even losing, but still, yeah, even in the leagues I'm losing, I like to still try to play it out to the end. I think you owe it to the league to play hard. I know not everybody feels that way, especially in Roto. Roto's tedious and stupid, and if you're in last place and there's 2 months left, I can see not getting on there and setting your lineup every day. I see it. That's one thing, but don't ignore trade offers. Don't let people offer you trades and then they sit there and stagnate for a week or whatever. Don't do that. Don't do that. As the second half grind comes up, even if you're in last place, even if you have no chance, show an interest. Show guys that you're still alive. Show commissioners pay attention to that shit. As a commissioner, I pay attention to who looks like he hasn't been doing anything with his team for the past 5 weeks. If it's a decision next year between that guy staying and a new guy wanting in that seems excited about the league, that maybe I know from another league that plays hard, give me that guy. Give me the guy that's going to make an active, fun league. That's just something to keep in mind for the second half grind. It does suck if you're out of it, but you signed up, play. Play. Or at least if you're not going to play, don't make it so obvious. Don't completely abandon it and your team is tumbleweeds rolling by and nobody can get a hold of you and all of that stuff. Don't do that. Don't be that guy. And I don't think I'm talking to really anybody, but I'm probably not talking to any of those guys. But for anybody that might watch this and get to an hour into it, don't be that guy. That's what I'll end on. We'll do week 14 soon, and then some other stuff, hopefully. Home run derby tonight. Me and Josh, Trevor Story. I said bottom 3. I should have said bottom half. It would have bought me one more ladder spot. But bottom 3, Trevor Story, going to get a pizza, or I'm going to pay for one. So